Hi, I'm Sydney and welcome back to my Flock and Squawk. And you might have seen last video, I have an excess of these crackers. I have 2 tins and at least this one is partially full because the last video we made some seasoned crackers using them. So today we are going to be making some Christmas crack to wrap up my Christmas in July series, July Miss. And yeah, it's been quite the month of posting every other day, but let's just get right into it and then I'll have a little wrap up at the end. So to start, I'm just going to line my pan with the crackers in a even-ish layer. I'm going to add some butter. We have unsalted in the house, so I'm going to also add in some salt. My butter I took out of the freezer this morning, so it's not the softest, but it's going to melt up real soon. About a cup of packed brown sugar. I say about because mine was not a very perfect scoop. And then I'm going to turn this and leave it on medium heat. We're going to want this to slowly melt and combine and then eventually get up to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Kind of similar to the peanut brittle in terms of cooking and temperature, but I put it into a cold pan so everything can start melting together. And then once again, I'm going to be using my temperature spatula so I can carefully watch the temperature. While we're waiting for the butter and sugar to heat up, I'm going to be using Hershey's chocolate bars for the topping because for once I think I'm actually fully out of chocolate chips. I only have fancy peanut butter chips and other kinds, but no just straight chocolate. So I scavenged around the house and those Hershey's bars are what we're going to have to be used. I know most people use semi-sweet, but if you've ever tried it with 60% or darker, it adds a nice little extra. Toppings you can also consider are just decorating with sprinkles while it's still warm, adding in some peppermint chips, just whatever you think would be tasty, some nuts, and just having them chopped, either sprinkled on top of the crackers before you pour the toffee or on top of the chocolate to fully combined. I have reached 285 degrees Fahrenheit with this, and I think it's time to pour it over. So I'm just going to be very careful not to burn myself with this very, very hot pot. We're just going to pour. Try and get it even. Oh, ouch. And there I go, burning myself. Oh my gosh. I am not safe to be around myself sometimes. And then I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit. Sorry, I can't adjust the camera at this very second, because I want to make sure that this gets spread, because my crackers are also, oh, I'm just bumping you, because the crackers don't have a salty outer layer like saltines do, and you typically do saltines for this kind of thing, or at least that's what I've always grown up knowing. And then I have my chocolate, which I'm just going to kind of scatter across the top. You want to make sure that you work a little bit fast so it doesn't cool too terribly much. And a lot of people pop it in the oven to make sure that the toffee and everything's set, but I'm just going to let it chill on the counter. One thing I will be doing, however, is covering this. I'm just going to use a cutting board to cover. Oh, and my toffee's already setting. I'm going to just let this sit for a moment, and then I'll be able to spread the chocolate over top because the heat will be kind of insulated and allow me to spread it out. My thing cooled down too much. Okay, I'll pop this in the oven. So while the sweet treat is in the oven, hopefully melting that chocolate, I realized that I didn't put down any parchment paper, so hopefully it comes out of the pan just fine. But like I said, I just wanted to give a big thank you all to watching this Julymas. There's the whole playlist, and making videos every other day for July was both as hard and not as hard as I thought. I thought it would be more difficult to film and edit and all of that making these videos, but it actually went fairly smooth. And then the hard part was actually thinking of ideas, because while I wrote out ideas, certain ones just didn't end up making sense for me to be able to do with all the other obligations in our life and then just what we've had in the house. Because one of my things is I don't want to make a whole bunch of stuff that we aren't going to enjoy or not be able to gift to people. So I just wanted to kind of make sure that I wasn't being frivolous in that kind of way. And I realized most of these Julymas videos have ended up being in the kitchen. Not fully I was hoping to be in the craft room more, and hopefully I will be able to share with you soon some of the stuff I've been working on. One of the things that I've been working on that is part of why I haven't been making crafting videos for Julymas is a gift. And while I don't think they watch my channel, I don't want to put it out there and then it somehow get back to them of what they are getting. So that's part of why I've been making sure that I'm not in the craft room, so I can avoid having that potentially sneak into the video, either just me not noticing while either filming or editing, just all of that. So thank you for joining me in the kitchen most of this Julymas. I really enjoyed the experience, and I feel like I've re-honed in some of my workflows and stuff. But if you've enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments down below and just give me all that feedback, because this has been fun. But I have a lot of craft related plans. We'll be moving out of the kitchen soon and we will be crafting. Hopefully you enjoy that, and maybe some sort of vloggy type content again. These videos quickly devolved into more of a cook with me as opposed to traditional vlogging type content, which I've never fully done other than when we've gone on trips. But I've got a lot of crafty day in the life of an artist type things in the works. So if any of that interests you, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, or following along. But I do a whole variety on my channel, so updates probably to come. But yeah, let's just check in when this is all ready to hopefully get out of the pan just fine. So it's been probably 2 hours since I last saw you, and I had added some sprinkles on this side that was a little extra ugly. So I'm gonna attempt to pop it out of the thing. I don't know why I didn't even think about having any sort of lining on this to make it pop out easier. So we're just going to give it a try. A butter knife. Okay, so the toffee is definitely set. Ooh, this is not gonna be fun. I might have to just set this whole pan in a warm thing of water, because that might help loosen it up. It's not the silliest thing I've ever done, but it is definitely a come on, why didn't you think about that type of thing. Well, maybe if I also don't want to break this pan. It's so beautiful. Yep, the chocolate is still a little soft on top. But yeah, I will just have to check in with you once I sort this out. Well, I've been hitting away at it for a while and had it in the hot water bath. And the chocolate definitely has softened back up, but not so much the toffee. So it's probably going to end up more of a Christmas crack ice cream topping or crumbs. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this whole Julymas and that you join me again sometime. Please let me know in the comments down below any thoughts, opinions, or what I should have done better other than having no lighting. But thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye! Oh my, just as I had filmed the outro and given up hope, it has started breaking out in at least more reasonable chunks. So, thank you so much for watching and joining me. And I'm gonna just keep working at this very crummy mess.